Let's be real. Most of us sit far more than we actually realize. We sit over breakfast. We sit watching the morning news. We sit scrolling through our phones or flipping through a book. It feels like we are giving our bodies a break. But from the perspective of pelvic health, prolonged sitting is actually one of the most demanding things we put our bodies through. As the years go by, this increasingly sedentary way of living quietly becomes one of our greatest health threats. Consider what happens when you stay seated for hours on end. You are essentially compressing the natural channels through which your blood travels. You are cutting off the fresh oxygen supply that your hip joints, your legs, and your internal organs desperately need. That familiar heaviness in your legs and that persistent stiffness around your hips, most of us simply write it off as a natural part of aging. In reality, what most people are experiencing is simply inadequate blood flow to the areas that need it most. The encouraging news is that the solution is far simpler than you might expect. No running shoes needed, no expensive gym membership, no prior fitness experience whatsoever. What I'm about to share with you today are 5 carefully selected, low-impact movements that work to bring circulation back where it belongs. Together, we will reawaken the pelvic floor, free up those stiff hip joints, and help your body move the way it was designed to. No fluff, no filler. We are getting straight to business because nothing matters more than how you feel in your own body. Grab a comfortable spot on the floor or a sturdy mat. Your journey toward feeling better starts right now. First up, the glute walk. Buttocks shuffling. I will warn you now, this one draws a few laughs when people first see it. But underneath that silly appearance lies one of the most therapeutic movements available for your pelvic region. We refer to it as the buttocks shuffle. Here is the science behind it. Every time you rock your weight from one side to the other, you are essentially giving your internal pelvic organs a deep, rhythmic massage. Fresh blood gets pushed through areas that have been starved of circulation for hours. For men, consistent practice of this movement delivers real benefits for prostate function. For women, the payoff comes in the form of improved gynecological health and better digestion. Time to get set up. Lower yourself down onto the floor or a firm mat. Straighten both legs and extend them out ahead of you. This next point is critical. Your spine needs to be fully upright. Picture a thread attached to the crown of your head, gently drawing it upward toward the ceiling. Spine straight, chest open. Your knees do not need to be completely rigid, just avoid locking them out entirely. Stretch both arms forward at shoulder height to help with balance and keep your eyes focused straight ahead. Now we get moving. We are going to travel forward using nothing but hip-driven steps. Hike your right hip forward, then your left. Right, left, right, left. Can you feel those 2 bony points beneath you? Those are your ischial tuberosities, more commonly known as your sit bones. Those are your feet for this exercise. Avoid dragging your heels heavily along the floor. Let them graze the surface lightly, but remember the power and the drive comes entirely from your hips. Move forward for several paces now. Now reverse. Right hip back, left hip back. Keep breathing steadily. We will continue this for roughly 1 minute. A quick safety note. If you have serious lower back problems, a herniated disc, or feel your core is too weak to stay upright, do not push through it. Here's your modification. Place both palms flat on the floor beside your hips. Let your arms take the load off your spine. The movement stays identical, shuffling forward and backward on those sit bones, but your arms are there to keep you protected. And always remember the one rule that applies to everything we do here. No pain, ever. Muscle fatigue and mild effort are perfectly fine, but any sharp or stabbing sensation is your body's way of saying stop. Listen to it immediately and rest until the next movement begins. Keep shuffling. Notice that gentle warmth building in your lower abdomen? That is exactly what we are after, blood returning to tissues that have been dormant for hours. Maintain relatively straight legs and let those heels glide along the surface. If you are feeling strong and energetic today, go ahead and run through a second round after a brief rest. For now, though, 1 solid minute is an outstanding place to begin. Before we transition to the next movement, I have a quick request. If you are getting value from this, take a second to tap that like button. That one tap tells YouTube to put this content in front of other seniors who are quietly struggling with the same issues. It could genuinely change someone's day. Thank you. Movement 2. The sumo stretch. An active hip opener. Here is something worth understanding. Years of sitting with knees together causes the inner thigh muscles to gradually shrink and stiffen. These muscles attach directly to the pelvis, and when they tighten, they pull it out of alignment, which is frequently the hidden cause of stubborn lower back pain. This movement releases that tension while driving fresh fluid into the hip and groin area. I will show you two options, a full version and a gentler alternative. Choose what feels right for your body today. We start with the full version. Push yourself up to standing. Position your feet well outside shoulder width and angle your toes outward at a comfortable degree. Now begin shifting your weight side to side. Ease into a gentle lunge to the right, bending that right knee, then the same to the left. Just loosen up the hips a little. Now rest both hands on your waist. From here, we are going to slide both hands down along the thighs as the knees bend deeper. Picture a sumo wrestler lowering into their signature stance, but smooth, controlled, and unhurried. Continue sliding your hands downward until they rest just above the knees. Let your arms absorb some of your upper body weight, relieving any strain from the lower back. From this wide, grounded position, we are going to introduce gentle pulses, small, rhythmic downward bounces. You should feel a pull along the inner thighs. When you are ready, drive through your heels and rise back up to standing in a slow, controlled manner. Resist the urge to pop up quickly. Standing too fast can bring on a wave of dizziness. Take your time getting there. Once fully upright, give your legs a gentle shake. That light vibration helps the muscles release residual tension. Target 4 to 5 repetitions total. Now let's cover the easier alternative. If your knees give you trouble, or that wide stance feels too unstable, here is what to do instead. Stand tall, with feet roughly shoulder width apart. No giant step outward needed, just nudge your feet slightly beyond your shoulders. Rather than dropping into a deep lunge, we are simply going to perform a shallow squat. Shift your hips backward as though you are about to lower onto a bar stool just out of reach behind you. Allow the knees to soften just slightly. Place both hands on your thighs right away for support. This is not a deep squat, just a modest dip. From that position, introduce those same small rhythmic pulses. After several pulses, rise back up smoothly. To make that transition easier, rotate your toes forward first, then bring your feet back together. Aim for 4 to 5 repetitions. Now, here is why the pulsing matters so much. We are not simply holding a passive stretch. Each pulse acts as a mechanical pump. We are literally compressing the soft tissues, squeezing out stagnant fluid, and creating space for fresh, oxygenated blood to flood back in the moment we release. Movement 3 is called the pendulum. Out of everything we do together, this movement is the one I keep coming back to. Every hour you spend upright, gravity is quietly squashing your hip joints together. What we are doing here is turning that force around, letting it draw the leg downward and away, opening up space inside the joint that has been compressed for years. All you need is something to stand on that adds a little height. Stack your yoga mat into a firm block or pull on a chunky sneaker or slipper on one foot. Locate a wall nearby. Now listen carefully to how we position ourselves. Whichever leg sits furthest from the wall, that is your base leg. That foot gets the elevation. Reach your closest hand out and press it flat against the wall. Your inner leg, the one closest to the wall, should now be dangling freely with no contact with the floor whatsoever. Here is how the movement works. Using your muscles, drive that free leg upward, lifting your thigh as high as feels comfortable. Really squeeze it up toward your chest. Now comes the part that makes this exercise special. Release it completely. Do not guide it down with control. Let it drop like dead weight. Picture your leg as a soaking wet rope or a strand of overcooked pasta, absolutely no tension, no resistance. Lift with intention, then surrender it entirely. Let the natural swing take over. That dropping momentum is what generates a subtle but powerful traction effect, gently pulling the head of the femur away from the hip socket. For anyone living with arthritic hips, this brings near instant relief. The rhythm you are after is simple power on the way up, complete surrender on the way down. Let it swing freely. 1, 2, 3. Settle into that rhythm. There should be zero discomfort. If anything hurts, you are lifting too high, back it off. Relax your foot, relax your calf. Aim for 10 repetitions on this side. Lift and release. Swing, swing. Now let's move to the other side. Turn yourself around. Your opposite leg now becomes the outer leg. Step onto the mat or transfer your slipper to this foot. Plant that outer foot as your base. Hand back on the wall. Same tall posture. Drive the inner knee upward and then let it go completely. Let gravity do the rest. This movement is particularly powerful for anyone who feels like their hips are jammed or their legs are locked deep inside the socket. We are actively restoring space inside that joint. 10 repetitions on this side is all you need. One round is sufficient. Movement 4, the towel squeeze. We are heading back to the chair for this one. Grab a bath towel and roll it into a firm, tight cylinder. Lower yourself onto a solid chair with both feet flat on the floor. Shift forward so your back is not resting against the chair. Let your spine hold itself upright. Position that rolled towel snugly between your knees. Now we target the adductors, the muscles running along the inside of your thighs. In older adults, these muscles tend to weaken significantly over time, and that weakness quietly contributes to unstable knees and deteriorating hip function. Building strength here also delivers a meaningful bonus, noticeably improved bladder control, and a stronger pelvic floor. Here is the pattern. Press your knees into the towel with firm but comfortable pressure for 2 seconds, then release completely for 2 seconds. Ready? Squeeze. 1, 2, and let go. 1, 2, firm pressure again. Feel those inner thigh muscles engaging. Then release. Find a tempo that feels natural for you. There is no need to crush the towel with maximum force. A steady, deliberate engagement is exactly what we are after. And keep breathing throughout. One of the most common errors with this movement is unconsciously holding your breath during the squeeze. Avoid that. Exhale on the squeeze, inhale on the release. Target around 10 repetitions total. If this is new territory for your body, approach it with some respect. These muscles have likely been dormant for a long time and may surprise you. Muscles that have been dormant for years will cramp if pushed too hard too soon. The moment you feel one coming on, stop, rub the area gently, and rest. 2 sets of 10 is plenty. The goal is to wake these muscles up, not wear them out. What makes this movement so practical is that you can do it absolutely anywhere without anyone noticing. Watching TV, sitting at the breakfast table, completely silent, completely invisible, yet building real hip stability every single time. Now we arrive at the final movement, and this one is the reward. The most deeply relaxing stretch available for the piriformis muscle. But before we head down to the floor or bed for this last one, I have a quick question for you. Reading through the comments and discovering how far this community stretches across the globe is something I genuinely treasure. Take a quick moment right now and drop a comment telling us where you are watching from. Which country, which state. Seeing people from every corner of the world making their health a priority never gets old for me. And if you have not yet hit that subscribe button, now is the perfect time. We put out content like this on a regular basis, with a focus on safety and living well for the long term. You do not want to miss what is coming next. All right, let's close things out on a high note with our final stretch. Movement 5, the figure 4. This stretch has earned its reputation for one simple reason. It delivers results every single time. This stretch reaches deep into the gluteal and hip muscles that most exercises never touch. Why does that matter so much for us? If you wake up stiff, struggle with heaviness in your legs by late afternoon, or find walking uncomfortable, this is the movement your body has been waiting for. It drives circulation through the entire pelvic basin from top to bottom. For men, this translates directly into better prostate health. For women, it promotes elasticity throughout the pelvic floor. And for absolutely everyone, it makes the simple acts of walking and sitting feel noticeably more comfortable. For this one, you need to lie down. A yoga mat on the floor works perfectly, but if getting down is a challenge, your bed works just as well. You simply need a wall or headboard within reach to press your foot against. Lower yourself onto your back. Shuffle close enough to the wall that both feet can rest against it comfortably. Plant your left foot flat on the wall with that knee bent at a right angle. Now take your right leg, bend it, and cross your right ankle over the left thigh just above the knee. Take a look at your legs from above. They should form the shape of the number 4. To unlock the full benefit of this position, we are going to introduce a gentle, deepening pull. Thread your hands either through the gap between your legs or around the outside, and wrap them around your left thigh, the one with the foot pressed into the wall. Slowly and carefully draw both legs a fraction closer toward your chest. You will feel a rich, satisfying release deep inside the right hip and buttock. Let your eyes close. Let your head drop heavy to the floor. Release your shoulders completely. Just breathe. If it feels good, add the tiniest side-to-side rocking motion to massage the joint from the inside. Picture those deep hip muscles gradually loosening their grip. Visualize warm, fresh blood flowing in like lubricating oil coating every surface. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Never force it deeper than feels. Natural tension is the enemy here. Softness is the goal. Hold for 30 seconds to 1 minute. When ready, gently uncross your legs, roll to your side, and use your hands to press yourself back up to sitting. Take your time getting up. No rushing. And there you have it. 5 simple yet powerful movements to restore life to your hips and pelvis. Hopefully, you feel looser, warmer, and more comfortable in your body than when we started. Consistency always beats intensity. Showing up for these gentle movements daily will do far more than one hard workout a month ever could. Motion is medicine for aging joints. Keep moving and you keep thriving. If anything felt unclear or uncomfortable, drop your question in the comments. I read everything and will do my best to help. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. Your body is the only home you will ever have. Take care of it. See you in the next one.